White cheddar rice cakes are life. It's the only good thing about dieting is white cheddar rice cakes. So good. Hey ladies, welcome back. So today's video is going to be an entire video solely on Sigma brushes. And that is because Sigma brushes aren't the cheapest, so I get a lot of questions about what brushes are good, are they worth the price, which one should I get, all that stuff. So I'm going to take you through all of my favorite brushes, what I use them for. A lot of them are multi-purpose, so that's kind of cool. Yeah, it's just basically going to be all about Sigma brushes. So to start off, I'll just show you kind of like what kind of brushes I have. So I do have the Sigma Copper Extravaganza complete kit. I have two of these actually, don't ask why. One of them I won and then one of them was a gift. So I have two of them, and one I keep, this is the one I keep as like my freelance one, and there's actually like extra brushes in here. This is the one I keep as my freelance one, like I only use this on other people, and then I also have the other one is like my personal one. So the Extravaganza kit comes with, I think it's I can't remember, maybe 18 brushes. There are a range of face and eye brushes, and there's one lip brush in there, but basically the difference between that and like the regular complete kit is that they have the copper ferrules, which means they look really pretty and like they're rose gold, and I absolutely love it. But yeah, they are a lot more expensive than like the regular complete kit, so if you don't really care about the color of the ferrule, then I would just say get the regular one, but I do absolutely love the way that the copper ferrules look. I think they're gorgeous. So, and they make me feel like a princess when I'm using them. But yeah, I also have like a couple other single brushes that I got. I also have, I think one of the collections I have is called the Spot On Concealer Kit, and then I also have the Extreme Blend one, and then I have a few brushes from the Performance Eyes Kit. So I do have quite a few Sigma brushes. I actually have a lot. Honestly, my obsession with makeup goes only so far as my obsession with makeup brushes. Like I feel like I'm more obsessed with collecting makeup brushes than I am actual makeup. It's like it's crazy, but I love brushes. So I'm going to start off with face brushes, and we all know my number one baby, my number one favorite Sigma brush for my face is obviously the Sigma Flat Top Kabuki F80 brush. This little baby right here. This is just the best foundation brush you're ever gonna get. I didn't believe the hype. I was like, I don't understand. What's so amazing about it? My beauty blender is the best. And yes, my beauty blender is the best, and I still use that thing all the time. But this thing is so amazing. Like, it's just dense enough. It's like dense but not too dense where it just wipes the product off. It really like stipples it and gets it right into that skin so it locks in your foundation. This brush is really the key to long wearing, great looking, just completely flawless foundation. This is the trick to that. Honestly, even if I hate a foundation, I can probably make it work with this brush right here, at least in the beginning. But yeah, it's perfect. It makes putting on your foundation like foolproof. Like honestly, if you just get the hang of this brush, your foundation will always look perfect and you won't even have to be that great at makeup. But I will say that the trick to using this brush is really pressing it into your skin before you go in and buff. Like I know a lot of people like to just put on their foundation and then go ahead and buff it. But I like to press it into the skin first, and that's really going to help it adhere to your skin, and then you go in and buff to blend it out. But you want to do that pressing motion first and then buff it, and that's what's going to give you that flawless finish. But yep, definitely number one favorite Sigma brush like ever is the F80 from Sigma. And I didn't mention this before, but I will have all of the brushes that I'm mentioning down below linked for you to just click on and order like separately, and then I'll also have the link to the complete kit or the Copper Extravaganza kit, and then also any other sets that I have. There's going to be a lot of linking going on down there in that description bar, so definitely check that out. And they are all going to be affiliate links. I'm just going to disclaim that right now. I am a Sigma affiliate. If you order them from my links, you will be making me some money. Really not that much at all, but I'm just going to let you know that you do you, like whether you want to make me money or not. Thank you if you do. If you don't, sorry. But yeah, I'm just disclaiming that so that you guys don't think I'm lying about anything. Okay, next, this is also a foundation brush, but I like it for specific people. So this is the Duo Fiber F50 brush, and it's just a really big duo fiber brush. So what duo fiber means is that there's shorter black bristles and then longer white bristles in the brush. And this is really going to give you a nice light airbrushed finish. So it's not going to be nearly as full coverage as this, but it is going to give you a nice airbrush finish. It's really going to give you the look of like your skin. Like, it's really going to make your foundation look like your actual skin, this brush. And what I like this for is actually using on mature skin. I've used it on my mom before. It looks great on her skin, but even more mature than that, I used this on my grandmother for her 80th birthday with the YSL Le Teint Touche Éclat, and she looked incredible. Well, my grandma is just flawless, but it just worked so well for mature skin because of all of because let's just be real, when you get older, you have wrinkles and fine lines on your face, and this just buffs over it, makes it look really airbrushed, doesn't let anything settle into those fine lines, and it's absolutely amazing. I also like this for just dusting powder lightly over the face if I just want to quickly set everything. This is great for just a light dusting of powder all over the face. So once again, the Duo Fiber F50 brush. Another powder brush that is one of my faves is this F10 powder slash blush brush. You can use this as a blush brush, but I honestly think it's a little bit too big, and I have another brush that is my absolute favorite blush brush. But I do like this for setting. Like, if I want to set under my eyes and another brush is dirty, or I want to set all over my face, I just really like this brush. I don't know, I have used it for blush sometimes. It's great. I've also used it for bronzer. It's just really like a great multi-purpose brush. I really like it because you can do so many things with it. Like, if you were traveling and you didn't want to bring a lot of brushes, if you just brought this one, you could use this for your powder, your bronzer, and your blush, and you'd be set. It would get obviously dirty quicker, but I do love this brush because of all of the things you can do with it. So once again, that is the F10 powder blush brush. So next up is my favorite blush brush, and you guys definitely know what it is because I don't think I've ever used another blush brush in my videos like ever, and this is the Sigma F40 brush. It is actually called a large angled contour brush, and I have used it for contouring as well, but this is basically the only brush I use for blush, and I actually have two of them because one of them came in that extravaganza kit, and then another one came with the Paris palette. I don't know why, but the one from the Paris palette I like a lot more. It's because the hairs just seem to be a lot grittier and pick up product better, but I don't know why that is, like why the hairs are different, but this one is amazing too. So like really, if you get one or the other, it's not really going to make much of a difference. I'm just super picky. But basically, I love this brush because of the shape. Like, because it's angled, you just pop it on your cheek and it makes it so easy to like blend backward toward your hairline and blend that blush into your cheek. I don't know, it's just the perfect blush brush. Even though it's a contour brush, I have used it for contouring as well. It is great for that. I just feel like sometimes, especially if I want like a nice contour, it's a little bit too big for that. But I do absolutely love it as my blush brush, and it's basically the only blush brush I ever use. So F40, holy grail blush brush. Okay, so since we just talked about blush, I will go on to some contouring brushes that I like. First is this F25 tapered face brush. This I love for bronzing my skin, not necessarily contouring because it is pretty large of a brush, but to just warm up my skin with some bronzer. I really like this because it's nice and big, buffs everything out really easily, and it's a great shape to like get in your cheekbone a little and then blend out the rest. I don't know, it's just really, really perfect. I also like this sometimes to set under my eyes with powder, or really just to set my whole face with powder. It's great for that too. But yeah, really love this F25 tapered face brush. I always call it my tulip brush because I can never remember the name, but it is called the tapered face. Okay, so for cream contouring, it's really the only brush I ever use for that. This is the F55 Small Duo Fiber brush. So it's basically just the itty bitty mini version of the F50 brush. Yeah. So it's just a small version of this, and what I like to do is lay down my cream contour product, and then I just basically go in with this and buff and blend it, and once again it gives that nice airbrush finish that the large, the wrong brush, that the large duo fiber brush gives, and it just really buffs everything into the skin nicely, and it looks like a perfect seamless blend, and I love it for that. I don't think I've ever used this brush for anything else, but Love it. I know Carly Bible uses this for her foundation, but I've never tried that. Maybe I will. And then for powder contouring, I love this FO5 small contour brush. It's like a little bit, it's like a little dome brush, but it's got a really nice kind of flat edge on top. And that is great for basically getting the product on that edge and then making that line with your powder, and it gives you a nice, crisp, clean contour. And then you can go in with like the bigger side and really buff everything out. It's just great. Also, if you have a smaller face, which I do not because I have a large head, you can also use this as a blush brush. If you have like a smaller cheek, you can just use it as a blush brush, and I think it would be great for that as well. So the FO5 small contour, best contour brush. And then for highlighting, I have two favorites. My first is the F35 tapered highlighter brush. This is everybody's favorite, and for good reason. It just really blends that highlighter on. If you're worried about getting too much highlighter on your face, this is definitely the brush to go for, because it really just blends everything out, everything seamlessly into the skin. And I also love this for setting under my eyes with powder. It's just like the perfect shape and size, sets everything nicely into place. But because I do not like a subtle highlight and I like to pack on a lot of highlighter on my face, I love the large Fluff E50 brush for my cream highlighters and then highlighters that I really want that glow. Like if I really want that glow factor, I've used it today for my highlight. It is considered an eye brush. It's called the E50 Large Fluffs, and the E stands for eyes, but I really have never used this for my eyes. I won't lie about it. I've never used it for my eyes, but putting on cream highlighter or highlighter that you want to be really, really pigmented, this is great for, because it's a perfect size and it's synthetic bristles, whereas this one is natural hair bristles. So putting that cream product on really packs it on, and it also packs on the punch of that pigmentation of the highlighter. So I love this one for highlighting as well. Okay, so that was basically all of my favorite face brushes. I really narrowed it down to like my actual favorites and not just stuff like that I kind of like these are the ones I always use. And then now we're going to move on to my eye brushes, and once again, these are the ones like I cannot live without. So number one, obviously you guys already know it, it is the E40 blending brush, or tapered blending brush, I'm sorry, and it's just a really big fluffy brush. It's just perfect for doing your transition color, for blending everything on your eye out. It is just a good standby. Like, everybody needs a good blending brush, and this is it. It's big enough to blend everything on your eye out and to really diffuse the products. Like if you really want a nice buffed out crease, this is the brush to go for. There are obviously other blending brushes that are more tapered and for specific uses, but this is probably the best like all over blend brush. And I literally cannot do an eye look without this brush. I think I've maybe done that twice and it was horrible, but I cannot live without this brush. Like, I need this in my life. Okay, so the next brush I love is the E35. This is also called tapered blending brush, and it's kind of just a little bit, I don't know, it looks a little bit smaller. I don't know. There's just something about the bristles that really, they're like a little bit grittier on this brush. And this I like if I really, really want to buff everything out, or if I want a little bit more pigmentation for my crease color. That is why I love this brush. Honestly, I can't really explain to you the difference, but there is a difference between the E40 and the E35. I just don't really know what it is. But I know that when I use this one over this one, there is a different effect. And honestly, I couldn't live without either of these. I definitely use this one more often, but this one is great to have in my collection as well. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about more like detailed blending brushes. First is going to be the E25 blending brush. This is a lot smaller than the E40, as you can see. It's like very tapered at the end. It's a lot shorter of a bristle and it's less fluffy. And basically what I love to do with this is to basically like get a little bit more tapered, more detailed in the crease. If you want a little bit more concentration in the crease, you can use this brush for that. It is amazing at blending. It is smaller, so it'll take more work to like blend everything out, which is why I love to have this one on hand. But it is an amazing brush. Honestly, this is a brush that if you only had this one, you could do an entire eye look with this one brush, because it's got that flat, like if you look at it on the side, it's like kind of flat, you know? So you can use like the belly of the brush, pack on some color, and then blend it out with the same brush. Like, it's just an amazing brush. You guys really seriously need this one in your life. You need all of them in your life. I won't lie, you need all of them. But E25, honestly, holy grail, amazing. Okay, so this one is kind of new to me. This is part of that perfect blend kit I was talking about, and this is called the E38 Diffused Crease Brush. And what I like about this brush is it's smaller than the E40, so you can get more of a concentrated color in the crease, but I don't know, there's something about it that really like diffuses it out. I don't know what kind of technology this is, but it really diffuses the color in the crease, and that's why I love it, because who doesn't want a diffused crease? Like, that's the point of blending, hello. But yeah, this brush is amazing. I definitely recommend it. Over any of the brushes in that perfect blend kit, this is my favorite one, I have to say. So for times that you really want to define your crease, I like to go for my E45 small tapered blending brush, and because it is very, very tapered on the end, like it's very pointy at the end, it really, like when you take just the color on the tip of the brush, you can really run it along that socket line, and it really creates like a nice, crisp, defined crease. If you're not really good at defining your crease or really placing color well, this is a good brush to go for, because it basically does all the work for you. Like, you place the color in the crease and then you just kind of blend it and it's all done for you. So now for some eye shading brushes. A good old standby, the E55 eye shading brush. It's just like a flat shading brush. It is kind of big, but for packing color all over the lid, this is a great go-to. Just amazing. I have 3 of them. That's a little excessive, but I do have 3 E55 brushes. Packing color on the lid, on the inner corner, highlighting your brow bone. This is just a good standby to have with you. Like, it's just amazing. And then for more detailed lid work, or for more detailed like eyelid colors, what am I talking about? I don't know, but this F70 concealer brush I love for using with pressed pigments, with glitters, with cream eyeshadows, just with anything that maybe is wet. Like if I want to foil my eyeshadow, I use this brush instead of the E55, because this is made of synthetic hairs, so it's really going to work with wet products a lot better. And also it's a lot smaller than the E55, so if you really want to precisely place a color on your lid and like not have it go everywhere, this is the brush to go for, because it's smaller, it's more tapered on the end, it's thinner, so you can really get like more precise with this one, and I love it. More recently I've been like only using this and not my E55, but I do love my E55. I'm sorry. Okay, so now we're going to do some more detail type brushes. So the first one is this E32 Exact Blend brush. And what I like this brush for is if I'm trying to do like a smoky eye or something where I don't want the darker colors to go up too high, I like to take this in my crease and really buff and blend things out. Because it's so much smaller than other blending brushes, it's not going to disperse the color any further than where you put it, which is why it's called an exact blend brush. Like basically wherever you blend is where that color is going, and it's just going to buff it out in that exact area. So I like this brush because if you're doing like a darker look, you can use this one and not worry about things getting messy, because you're keeping it in the exact area that you want it. Everybody needs a pencil brush. This is the E30 pencil brush from Sigma. It is amazing. Like, everybody just needs a nice standard pencil brush, and this is a great one. You can use this for cutting your crease. You can use this for blending out eyeshadow under your eye. You can use this to highlight the inner corner. You can use this to highlight the brow bone. You can use this for your crease. Pencil brushes come in handy so much, especially for detail work. Everybody needs a pencil brush. Like, you need this in your life. So since we talked about the lower lash line, you guys know I love a smoked out lower lash line. So I've got a couple brushes that I love for that. Number one is probably the E15 flat definer brush. This one I love to kind of press color into my lower lashes and kind of pack on the pigmentation without getting it everywhere with a bigger brush. It's very, very, very thin, and so you can really just press it into the lower lashes and it's exactly where you want it, and then you can go out and smoke it with some other brushes later. I also love this to carve out my brows with concealer. I'm not going to do it now because there's black on this brush. But to carve out my brows with concealer, I know a lot of people don't like that look, but I love it, and this is the perfect brush to do it. It's just nice and flat. You get your concealer on there, you trace the shape of your brow, and you're done. This one is perfect. So the E15 flat definer, I think everybody needs this in their life. You can also fill in your brows with this. I've done that a few times, but it's a little bit too big for me. And then once you put on that packed on color on your lower lash line, you want to blend it out with something. If I'm doing like a really nice smoky look, I love this Shader Crease E47 brush. This just really buffs everything out down there. It's a really nice and small, so it's like not too big and it won't get everything everywhere. It's just like the perfect size for that lower lash line. Love this brush. I also love this to do like a really defined crease, maybe not a cut crease, but like to really put on a specific color in your crease. This is great. Also, if you have smaller eyes, this is really great for your crease. If I'm doing like a bright pop of color on my lower lash line, my favorite color to pack on the pigmentation on my lower lash line is definitely my E21 smudge brush. It's just a really tiny, like dense eyeshadow brush, and it just works great to pack on color down there, and it's the perfect size. It's like basically a little mini version of the E55, like a really mini version, but it really packs on the color down there and is really great for that. Another brush I love for the lower lash line is my smudge brush. Honestly, I just like to take this under if it's like a harder color to blend out. I like to use this to blend it out because it's a little more dense and really like gets in there, you know? Okay, and finally I have my liner brushes and my eyebrow brushes. So for tight lining can be very difficult, especially if your eyes are sensitive. But I have this brush here, which is called the E17 Waterline Liner Brush. And basically, you just dip this in some eyeliner, and then you basically just go under your lashes and tight line your eyes. And this is also great for the waterline as well, if you like to use gel on your waterline instead of pencil. This is great for that. So yeah, just awesome, because I don't know any other company that makes a brush specifically for your waterline, and I love this one. Also, you guys absolutely know my favorite eyeliner brush. This is the E05 eyeliner brush. It's just the perfect shape. It's honestly made doing winged liner so much easier for me. It's incredible. Like, I love this brush so much. It makes winged liner like a piece of cake. I kid you not, it's amazing. And then my two favorite eyebrow brushes. This one is the E35. I think it's the small eyeliner brush, and I do sometimes like this for eyeliner. If I'm doing a thicker winged liner, I like this one, but I mostly use this for my eyebrows. It's just a small angled brush. I think it's called the small angled eyeliner. I can't remember, but it's rubbed off on the brush. That's why I'm saying I can't remember. But yeah, this is just great to do your brows. It's the perfect shape, perfect size. It's synthetic, so you can use it with like dip brow kind of products like wet waxes and stuff. And then you can also use it with powders as well. So this is just an awesome eyebrow brush. I think they might have a specific like eyebrow one, which is like the same shape, but like a different like hair thing. But I don't know, I would never buy that because this one works just fine. And then, like I said before, I really like to carve out my brows with the flat definer brush, but once that concealer's on there, it looks pretty harsh and you need to blend it out. So my favorite thing to do that with is this E71 Highlight Diffuser brush. It's basically just a really fluffy kind of like angle top brush. I don't know, it's really weird. It kind of looks like a flat top kabuki, or like, you know, that angled kabuki, but smaller. And I really just love this to blend out that concealer. It's really quick, blends it out really flawlessly, like right into your skin, and I love it. Wow guys, that's basically it. I thought this video would take a lot longer, but I guess, I don't know, I cut it down. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Remember that everything will be linked down below, so go ahead, get your hands on some. I'm also gonna have a coupon code down below because Sigma always has a 10% coupon code, so I'm gonna leave that down below as well with all of the links, so get yourself that 10% off. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it helped you guys out a lot because I get a lot of questions about what brushes people want to buy or should buy or whatever, and I just thought I would do a whole video on it so that you guys have all of your answers in one place. I love you so much. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye, ladies. Are my lips on fleek? Oh shit, sorry. It's Judy's life. How hard is it to say the words blush brush? You always mess it up, right? I'm actually proud of myself for not messing it up this time. Ooh, my camera's gonna die. I gotta talk faster.